DC News Now presents The DMV Comes to Life.
Hi everybody, I'm Chris Flanagan and welcome to DC News Now presents The DMV Comes to Life. You know, over the past several months, I've been all over the DMV finding and telling really unique stories, and I shot them all on this, my cell phone. I'm really excited to share these stories with you. So we start off in Northeast DC. You know, when you think of roadside service, you probably think of your car being broken down, right? But one DC man brings a whole new meaning to that term. For him, roadside service means haircuts. He owns one of the more unique barbershops in town, and he tells me why his business is a pandemic success story. The idea, you might say, is outside the box.
You know, when some people look at me up on Google search, they be like, are you in a trailer? And I'm like, yep, you got it, I'm in a black trailer.
But inside the box, business is buzzing. For Dante Brown.
I can't stop cutting, man. I'm on the clock constantly. I'm constantly busy. My books is extremely full. I'm booked up for the rest of this week, mostly all next week, and people book me out, you know, throughout the rest of the year almost.
The 46-year-old DC native tricked out a cargo trailer, converting it into a state-of-the-art one-man barbershop. It's fully operational, heat, AC, and plumbing.
This is a 7x14 V-nose, 7 feet high, 7 feet wide, 14 feet long.
The trailer is parked on John McCormack Road in Northeast, on the border of Catholic University.
So just me anchoring it down, I can just catch so much more fish, you know, this way, versus have to go out and go catch them, then go over there and go catch them. I can literally just set up a net and catch them, you know.
And Brown hooks lots of customers, like Durante Samuels.
That was one of my main concerns, losing him as a barber, and then when he told me he was back in business, I was just like, I'm coming. I'm coming, because he'll have you looking like a king.
The business was born out of COVID. Brown had been working for years at a DC barbershop, but left when the pandemic hit. Itching to stay in the game, he came up with a solution, a barbershop on wheels. Brown launched Platinum Barber Services in March 2021. He says, out of necessity.
It was like almost reviving a life, you know, like it gave us life, it gave us hope, it gave us, you know, inspiration through all the pandemic.
The one-man barbershop.
I'm still in disbelief. I still think it's a dream. I still think I need to be woken up, you know.
Has Dante Brown living big, thanks to a small trailer. Yeah, what a great success story. Dante, keep up the great work. All right, our next story, also a COVID success story, brings us to downtown Union Station in D.C. for an industry that at times could seem out of step with our fast-paced lives. But one man, he's embracing a lost art as he connects with people from all walks of life. This man hasn't lost his shine, despite his small business nearly being wiped out by the pandemic. At Union Station, amid all the hustle and bustle, there's one man saving souls.
As you can see, there's tens of thousands of people that come through this station every day, so each day is a different experience.
But David Kirkley is no preacher. He's a shoe shiner.
I think this is really therapeutic for a lot of people. You know, they might have a long day at work, or you know, just want to get out of the house, and they come and you know, they bring. Some people just bring 4 or 5 pairs of shoes and sit here for 2 hours and just get their shoes shined.
Kirkley owns Union Station Shoe Shine. Dressed in his signature bow tie and fedora, he's been making people look good from the feet up since 1992.
Joe Biden was one of our regular customers back when he was Senator of Delaware. He used to come through every day. As a lot of people know, famously, he rode the train every day into the office, and he would periodically stop by and get his shoes shined. And even if he wasn't getting his shoes shined, he would stop by and speak to us and kick it for a few minutes, and then go on into his office.
Kirkley believes he's one of the few shoe shiners still in business in the district. He's mastered what some clients, like Ali Muhammad, say is a dying art.
You can shine a shoe, but not anyone can shine a shoe. And what I do, I come here to get my shoe shined. Not just shine, but shined.
Kirkley never lost his shine, even when business dropped by as much as 70% during the pandemic. But now he sees hope.
People are starting to get back into the office, and they're starting to put clothes on again. instead of pajamas.
And that's something David Kirkley is happy to embrace. He certainly is. Still ahead on the DMV Comes to Life.
We're thrilled that we've done what our mother set out to do, and we're going out on a bang.
An iconic store in Loudoun County that has close ties to former First Lady Jackie Kennedy and her family closes its doors for good. And it's not because business was bad, actually quite the opposite. The two sisters running the store decided to close shop. And also honoring mom in a real heartwarming way. A mentoring program that connects girls who've lost their mothers with other young women who've also lost their mothers at a young age. A powerful message this nonprofit has for these young girls. We'll be right back. You're watching DC News Now special, The DMV Comes to Life.
DC News Now presents The DMV Comes to Life.
And welcome back. DC News Now presents The DMV Comes to Life. It's an end of an era in one Northern Virginia town, an iconic Middleburg store where former First Lady Jackie Kennedy was a regular customer, shut its doors for good over the summer. It had been run by the same family for decades. The owners told me, while it's certainly bittersweet, it was the right time to close. In the heart of Middleburg sits the heartbeat of town.
People call it the Macy's of Middleburg, and which we gladly accept that. And also we're said if the fun shop doesn't have it, you don't need it.
For Betsy Davis and her sister, Paige Allen, walking through the fun shop is a stroll down memory lane.
It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe, and it's hard to believe it's almost ending.
66 years after their mother opened the store in 1956.
How much is that book? $12.
The big red banner hanging out front says it all. The fun shop is going out of business.
We're thrilled that we've done what our mother set out to do, and we're going out on a bang. So we had our best year last year, and so it's a good time.
And it's been a good run. Lots of regular customers, the backbone of their business, but also a lot of celebrities, none bigger than Jackie Kennedy.
She was a very loyal customer when she was in the neighborhood. And not only that, she and my father had a special relationship.
Their father, Howard Allen, was a local professional photographer.
Well, here's a cute one of them. This is with her with John on the front, which she frequently did when they were waiting to go off at different horse functions.
When Howard Allen was 92 years old, he published a book of photographs he took of the Kennedy family after getting permission from Caroline Kennedy.
Never ever had published all of the photos that he had taken of Jackie and the children over the years, because she had asked when they first moved here that people kind of leave them alone and let the children be children and not publish every little thing they put. Well, Dad was the only photographer who did that.
From former First Ladies to first-time shoppers, the biggest little store you'll ever see closed its doors for good. Yeah, that was Betsy and Paige's decision to close the fun shop. They're in their early 70s, and they told me it's time to travel and enjoy their grandchildren. We certainly wish them a happy retirement. Well, now to a young man who may be decades from retirement. A rising fifth grader from here in the DMV is focusing on turning his passion for photography into a business. He's even worked the red carpet for some of the fashion industry's biggest shows. I met up with him to see what makes him click. Miles Minishata may be a pint-sized photographer.
I look for them to be posing, for it to be the right lighting, and make sure my shot is clear.
But his photos can be larger than life.
I've done BET Hip Hop Awards, Broccoli City, New York Fashion Week, Miami Fashion Week, DC Fashion Week, and more.
The 10-year-old D.C. area boy calls himself the world's youngest professional photographer. After earning lots of respect photographing events in the DMV, Miles has been invited all over the country for shoots. Some have even included A-list celebrities like Cuba Gooding Jr.
The most fun about it is seeing smiles on people's face when I take their picture, and they're like, wow.
Miles' mother, Shay Moore, says her son was born with an eye for photography and is self-taught, picking up a camera when he was just 2 years old.
So he started taking the camera from me. I would take him on all my photo shoots, and I could not get through a shoot without him picking up the camera, dabbling with it, telling people how to pose, how to model, and then I would be helping the person and he'll pick the camera up and I'll scroll back through and I'm like, he really took some pretty good shots. So that's how we got here.
While photographing beautiful models has become second nature to Miles, is often the beauty of nature that grabs his eye with his yellow Canon R6 camera.
It's 70 by 200, and I see all the pros use this one because it is super good. It also has 2.8, which helps my focus range, and the pictures come out clear.
Clear, just like his focus. Yeah, there's so much fun hanging out with him. So talented. What a future. Well, still ahead on the DMV Comes to Life.
Give you some type of space in your mind that you can breathe a little bit. And that's what it does to me.
Giving cancer patients and their families a big peace of mind. Free service offered by several local house cleaning businesses here in the DMV for those battling the dreaded disease. And Mother's Day can be a difficult holiday for so many who've lost their mothers, especially young girls. Coming up, I'll show you a one-of-a-kind mentoring program helping these girls navigate the loss of their mothers in a unique and loving way. You're watching the DMV Comes to Life on DC News Now. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
DC News Now presents The DMV Comes to Life.
And welcome back. DC News Now presents The DMV Comes to Life. Well, Mother's Day is a day to celebrate mom, shower her with gifts, and spoil her. Sadly, a lot of young girls don't have that opportunity. For them, Mother's Day is a difficult day. But there's a unique organization here in the DMV which reminds these girls they're not alone on this day to honor mom.
So again, how we're having so much fun.
Ora Galliner and Margot Cohen hang out a lot, both in and out of school.
We have a lot of fun together because she is my music teacher. I get to see her all the time. So I have fun with her all the time because we're in class together.
Margot is one of Ora's teachers at Wheaton High School, but they also share a special bond, one that is deeper than teacher and student.
I get to connect with someone that knows exactly what I went through. And there's just not a lot of other people like that when you first lose your mom.
Ora lost her mom last year to pancreatic cancer when she was a junior in high school. Margot lost her mother too when she was 15 years old.
It's been really nice to be able to help somebody else who has a similar situation to me. I've been kind of isolated, and it's a very isolating experience to lose your mother at such a young age.
Margot is a mentor to Ora through Empower Her. The nonprofit connects women who lost their mothers when they were young girls with young girls who also lost their mothers.
My mom died when I was 9 years old. She had breast cancer, and she was sick for 2 years. After she died, I'd say the pictures sort of came off the wall and our family just moved on. I felt super isolated and different, because this is the one thing that makes you super different from everyone, you're in elementary school with or high school with.
That prompted a Massachusetts woman, Cara Belvin, to launch Empower Her in 2013. They offer retreats and social gatherings throughout the year in cities across the country, including DC. Plus, their unique one-on-one mentorship program. The goal is to make sure girls, like Ora, have what they need in their time of grief.
Finding an organization that supports people like me that have just, especially because I just recently lost my mom, it was like just a padding, like a mattress under my fall.
Yeah, Empower Her is now open to all children who have lost a parent. Meanwhile, undergoing cancer treatment can be extremely difficult, of course, for anyone. Several local house cleaning businesses, they're going above and beyond, giving cancer patients and their families one less thing to worry about, and it doesn't cost them a penny. As you're about to see, and also gives them a big peace of mind. A vacuum hums across a rug in one of Doretta Claggett's bedrooms. The cleaning crew from Maryland Spotless Maid Service is giving her Montgomery County home a free cleaning.
It gives you some type of space in your mind that you can breathe a little bit. And that's what it does to me. It gives me a chance to simply breathe.
and to not worry about cleaning her home. The Gaithersburg company teamed up with a nonprofit called Cleaning for a Reason. Through their partnership, they offer free house cleanings for patients battling cancer, like Doretta, who has breast cancer.
I try to learn to do things on my own.
The charity forwards the names of local cancer patients, which are given by nurses, cancer care providers, or social workers to various cleaning companies, like Maryland Spotless Maid Service. Owner Rachel Wiley then donates 2 free house cleanings for 2 patients each over a 2-month period.
If we can come in and put a smile on their face and have their home be cleaned for a day, a week, a month, then it's all worth it.
The charity hits close to home for Wiley. Both her mother and father died of cancer. She understands firsthand the difficulties and stress that come with a cancer diagnosis and treatment. So for Wiley, cleaning a house for free so a cancer patient can focus on rest and recovery is priceless.
Trying to keep a house up, trying to keep things going, and you're fighting for your life. So basically, mentally, you're going up and down every day. So when you have people come in to offer you service and stuff, it really, it helps you, it relieves you.
Since its founding in 2006, Cleaning for a Reason and its partners have provided free home cleaning for more than 51,000 cancer patients and their families across the U.S. and Canada, including the Claggets. Well, still ahead on the DMV Comes to Life. Some workers eat away at a company's profits, but this cute and cuddly team is eating their way to profits. See the unique Northern Virginia business that is booming thanks to this flock of sheep. You're watching the DMV Comes to Life on DC News Now. We'll be right back.
DC News Now presents the DMV Comes to Life.
Yeah, welcome back. DC News Now presents the DMV Comes to Life. Well, I have a final story before we go. They rarely take breaks, never ask for a raise, and they always show up on time. They seem like the ideal workers, right? Well, Northern Virginia business is booming thanks to their dedication. I recently met up with this team, and I do have to warn you, they're a little sheepish. I did see for myself how they're not pulling the wool over anyone's eyes.
Camera shot. Oh, here we go.
Corey Suter calls himself the Chief Shepherd.
Come on, guys. Little bit by bit.
His job? Encouraging his flock of sheep to get to work.
We're definitely the quietest lawn care service on the East Coast.
Suter launched his Fairfax County-based business, Lamb Mowers, 2 years ago. He believes he's one of only 2 sheep-based residential lawn care companies in the entire country.
Usually when they go to a yard, the first thing they're going after is all the weeds in the yard because they love clover and dandelion, onion grass, Japanese stilt grass. They like to have more herbaceous plants, tree seedlings, poison ivy. So there's a lot of things that the sheep eat and eat well.
Suter charges $195 for a 2-hour grazing appointment. Dave Bone is renting the sheep to eat weeds in the front yard of his Fairfax home.
It is unique. It is unusual. And I admit the first time I heard it, I said, really? Is this is a working business you have? And he said, yeah, why don't you check it out? So
the sheep are fenced in to prevent wandering.
You can get back to work, sweetheart.
Suter says they offer an eco-friendly alternative for people who don't want to use gas-powered lawnmowers or chemicals to kill weeds. Plus, he says, the animals put organic nutrients back into the soil.
Sheep pellets are 35 to 40% carbon and very nutrient-rich. So it's a wonderful way to fertilize your yard and have a therapeutic experience with animals in your own space. And then the sheep love to eat the weeds out of the yard.
After their morning munch, it's time for the sheep to load up and head out to their next job.
Come on, sheep. Everybody on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Interesting business, right? That does it for the DMV Comes to Life. I hope you enjoyed all these stories. Again, shot them all right here on my cell phone. I'm Chris Flanagan. Thanks for watching.